Yobachi 2007 back at you with another one. And we're here to talk again about our good friend Tia Mowry, who's become a favorite in these parts as of recent, as she provides constant good content over here recently, as she keeps up the foolishness constantly. And so, with that, we've had an opportunity to examine her thoughts on dating and marriage and how she wants to go back to the streets. She wants to leave her husband that she was with for some 15 or so years, who she built a family and a home with, and she wants to go back to the streets to find a man to, quote, build a family unit with, because that makes sense only in women logic. So now here she is. She's on this trip and she puts this post up on Instagram. We've demonstrated before how she loves to thirst trap on Instagram. That was this video here. She tried to bring her son into the thirst trapping. There's 3 of her thirst trap videos right there on the thumbnail. And so she's back to the Instagram posting, and she's put up this post the other day. It says, before we get into that, I got to ask you to like, subscribe, hit the bell, help me out with this algorithm, help me out with YouTube culling views recently. If you've subscribed before and hit the bell before, check to make sure you're still subscribed, maybe even unsubscribe and resubscribe, and choose the bell in that subscription drop down. And with that, we're going to get right back to the program. So she writes, as you may have known, I took a trip to Spain and London, and during a significant portion of my trip, I found myself alone. Surprise, surprise. In the solitude I encountered, I learned to embrace stillness and welcome the quiet. This newfound peace provided me with the space to listen to my thoughts and, more importantly, afforded me the opportunity to actually process them. Who talks like this? This trip has been transformative, and I'm looking forward to sharing more of these moments with you all. Oh my goodness. First of all, people talking about traveling being so transformative. I've been to some beautiful places. Go to South Africa, go down to Cape Town, and go up in those mountains. Oh my goodness. But my life it wasn't a transformative experience that changed my life. It's a great experience to have. But this isn't the substance of what changes your life and transforms you. You're transformed by the renewing of your spirit through the Lord Jesus Christ, perhaps. That's what's transforming to you. Not being alone, uh, sitting on, I guess, what this is a yacht that dips into the water. Yes, it's a great Instagram photo shot, but this is not what transforms your spirit. But here she is, and she's on this trip alone, listening to her thoughts in the stillness. But perhaps she should have taken some time to do some thinking while she was married. Maybe then she could have thought about, maybe you could have thought about the commitment you made before God to love, honor, and cherish your husband in your marriage until death do you part, not until you graduate from your marriage because of reasons. You could have thought about your children and what divorce often does to children, and whether it was really necessary if you have a good and loving father there, and how the outcomes for children in single parent homes, single mother homes are the worst. Research demonstrates that if you have a husband and wife home, they do better than a mother only home by far. But you know what does better than even a husband and wife home? Just a single father home. Quite frankly, what the research demonstrates, no, I'm not even going to say it, but it demonstrates that women are obsolete, but not really. But, but as far as children's outcomes, it does show that uh, mothers, certainly single mothers, are not the ones to best give the best outcomes for children. And why? Because they tend not to provide discipline. They tend not to provide the balance of the strength and the softness that's needed and they tend not to give a lot of good guidance and direction because they are having trouble directing themselves. But that's a little bit off topic here. We want to get back to how Tia is in solitude and her loneliness when just a week ago, 2 weeks ago, she was on these various videos over here, uh, talking about how she needs to go find a man in the streets to build a family with, and how men today aren't like men in the past, and how in her previous relationship, and she wouldn't specify what her previous relationship is. Her previous relationship is called marriage to her husband. That's the previous relationship she was in, where she was courted. She said it was beautiful. But what did that man get for giving beautiful courtship to a woman and showing her that he wanted her? He got kicked to the curb because of reasons, because of nothing, in other words. And so, what's the incentive for men to go that route rather than to do what's beneficial to them, which is to play the field and to pick the best woman they can get, which typically isn't 45-year-old women with 2 children who had a millionaire husband who wasn't good enough because he just happened to make less millions than her. So I guess now a bigger millionaire is supposed to come along and want to raise her family unit as his own. Maybe in this newfound peace that she's been provided to listen to her thoughts in, maybe it will afford her the opportunity to process and realize that maybe she didn't make a decision grounded and based in the best reasoning and thinking and for the best outcomes for her and her children. Maybe she'll realize, like Tyrese Gibson's ex-wife has just come out and exclaimed, that the reason she left her marriage wasn't anything worthy of divorcing over, and she now regrets it because petty differences and small things that aren't perfectly the way you want them, and things not serving you, as Tia said most recently, as why she would not go back to her husband, aren't real reasons to run and leave your man who is there for his family. I hope that peace and solitude will give her some insights that will help her in the future to not make these type of impulsive decisions, because men aren't going to be running to women on yachts just because they can come out here and post a thirst trap hiding her stomach, and she looks kind of nice, and this is a beautiful shot, and she's a big baller who could take foreign trips and go to Spain and London, and great. And why does a man care? What does this do for any man? Nothing. And what does the man that Tia wants, especially, what does this do for him? Uber nothing, because she's looking for a multimillionaire. Because her last millionaire wasn't millionaire enough. So what we have to do, men, is continue to examine these women. As I was talking about with the video with what's her name, Jeannie Mai recently, how important it is to make sure that we are examining women up front. Because as demonstrated in this latest video, where Jeezy has released a statement making it clear that he's not going back to Jeannie, we can find in that situation and in that statement that he did not examine her well before marrying her. He examined and got to realize who she was after he married her. And that's too late. But men are doing better at looking at women and examining them before time. And men aren't going to fall for this babble, this useless talk, this lack of accountability, and want to take on a woman when they have all the options in the world. Why are they going to choose to engage with this foolishness just to get played like Corey Hardrick? They're not. It's not going to work. So you're going to have to try something else. Maybe spend some of that time in solitude doing a self-evaluation and examination in order to take accountability, to have a better chance, to have a better future after destroying your past union. With that, we're going to get on up out of here. You're watching 2007. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell to come back for more. Like me up. Like. and I'm out.